Welcome to Starcaster Radio. This is Jules, and I have Naomi and Barbara here, and we are just so excited to connect our hearts to all of you as we create this community of beautiful light beings and just really stepping up onto the New Earth platform as we create this reality beyond what our minds understand. And I believe Naomi is going to start our induction today.
Namaste. Welcome to Starcaster Radio. This is Naomi. I will be guiding you through an activation, which is being your star frequency in your multidimensional self. We will be accessing the subconscious mind, so please turn off your car and stop driving and wait until you have divine time to relax and fully listen to this meditation. And go ahead and find a comfortable position as we call in the Council of Light, the Galactic Council, our spirit guides and angels, and all of our star family. We seal this activation in white light and welcome in all energies of love and above. The Council is bringing a beautiful gift of frequency, so standing on the golden New Earth platform, begin to breathe in your personal gift of frequency. Place your hands on your heart and vibrate your star home as your energy system is in receivership. Standing on the New Earth platform, you look to the left. The significance in the left is it represents the past. You see the third dimensional earth in which you live. This is the earth held in duality. Without judgment, observe the earth. We hold the earth in compassion, along with all the people, plants, and animals who are in the process of releasing density and may feel the illusion of being separate from God. Through Starcaster Radio, we broadcast the frequency of unconditional love. And now look to the right representing the future, and you see the new earth held in oneness. And without any judgment, observe the energy of the new earth. Standing upon the New Earth platform, we ask for a download of clarity so that we can be able to access our multi-dimensional selves in the now. We begin our journey of our star frequency throughout all of our multi-dimensional selves through our chakra system. We bring our consciousness to each chakra. The first chakra, the first dimension, red. The root chakra, where we connect our roots to the roots of the earth. The red chakra influences our adrenal glands and triggers the fight or flight response. The second chakra, the second dimension, home to our gut feeling, knowing something without even having to know why. The third chakra, third dimension, home to your personal free will. The red, orange, and yellow chakras are dominant in the third dimension reality and hold great purpose. We invite the red root chakra to step into the void and create something never created. We hold the root in love as it releases the fight or flight response. Although the root chakra is the most dense, it also brings great change and progress. Bring your awareness on your red chakra as it begins to create in love. The red chakra begins to move and enters your orange chakra. Witness the revolution in your own energy system. The red enters the yellow chakra that holds the matrix of third dimension. We ask for a download to move beyond the veil with grace and ease. With great joy, we witness the Elohim, the power of God, move the red chakra through the veil. Entering the gateway of the heart, we set our intention to fully resonate in oneness. The heart is your personal energy center you can use to reach beyond yourself for something greater. We ask for a download to connect to our teachers, Jesus, Mary, Enoch, Moses, any of your teachers who teach you with great love and compassion. The root chakra continues to move, shedding all density and all that keeps us feeling separate. The red chakra enters the fifth chakra, the fifth dimension, and the root chakra is overtaken by love and like a magnet flows through the third eye and finds a spot on your crown right above your left eye. Sitting on the crown, the red chakra begins to vibrate your home frequency. And as the vibration intensifies, your fifth blue chakra travels through the third eye and finds its place on the crown just above your right eye. The red and blue energy surrender. The red clicks a half turn to the right, and the blue clicks a half turn to the left. Like clogs on a wheel, the red and blue turn as one, creating a velvet purple. You have fused time and space, bringing us to the level of one. With great clarity in the now, you have merged your old world with the new world. The velvet purple energy sits in the center of your crown and answers a call from your heart. The velvet purple drops down and anoints your third eye, and your third eye is activated into the eye of God. With the desire within your heart to resonate oneness, your vibration raises and raises. We ask for a download from the verse from the seed of the soul. May the sky open up and let in the information stored in the light of the universe. The codes of eternity are downloaded in our minds. A pyramid streams down from your star home and interlocks with the pyramid within your third eye, forming a Merkaba. Your left and right brain connect, allowing you to fully integrate the mind with your star home. The Merkaba rests on the gateway with your heart. Thank you, I love you, and it is done.
Wow, thank you, Naomi.
That's beautiful, Naomi. Thanks.
And Jules, do we have permission to speak to your higher self and gather information?
Yes.
So, Jules, you have been connecting to the 3 wise men. Is there any information that you can share with us about that energy?
Yes. So the 3 wise men actually hold the 3 different frequencies. So we've talked in the past of the Trinity being wisdom, power, and knowledge. And the 3 wise men kind of represent something beyond those 3 frequencies. And it's taking wisdom, power, and knowledge into, I guess, a more spatial frequency. They don't really have, there's not really a name to put into it. Actually, what I would say is it's like almost like it becomes in space versus part of space. So it kind of enters almost a, kind of like a vacuum or some sort of void. And so the 3 wise men, though they're in 3 different forms, are 3 different forms that are created beyond or within space. And I don't really understand what I mean by in space, but it's like a fluctuation of light fields. And it's just it's almost like it's in between the light versus being the light.
Thank you. And is there a download that we can ask to receive this?
Yes, we're just going to go ahead and do the download now. And the download is going to create kind of the word that I'm getting is biosphere. So it's going to create kind of this biosphere around our state of consciousness, which is going to allow the in space or the in between the light fields where our mind can more easily, be able to, I don't want to handle, that's the word that's coming, like not necessarily handle, but be able to exist in this like time-space continuum that we're just going through. So really what it's doing is it's just creating a space within our mind where living beyond time and space, yet still living in linear time is possible.
Thank you. And can you connect to the North Star, the star the wise men followed?
Yes. So, so the star is actually like I don't know if disguise is the word, but it's the vehicle of just being in the neutral. It's undetectable because it has like a radiance that is in neutral form. So it's like a vehicle, and it's a star. It's the way. It's the intelligence. It's in some ways it's like kind of just this like unprotected element, but it's because it's in such a neutral space, it can radiate in that form without being the thing I'm getting is like it's there to light the way, but it's not necessarily the way. It's just a neutral form that holds intelligence, but it's not an intelligence of knowing. It's just an intelligence of frequency. So it's not there to do anything except for hold the space for the word I'm getting is vehicle, and I'm not really sure what the vehicle is for.
Okay. And would it be a good idea to connect our homes where we live to this vehicle?
Yes, I'm getting a yes. So let's go ahead and ask for the download to be connected to this vehicle star, that our home be connected to this vehicle star. But I'm also getting that the resonance in our heart holds a star that is in a very similar neutral vibration, and we will ask that this resonance be connected to the vehicle star.
That was very powerful. Thank you. Is
I've
there
got a
anything
question.
else? Oh, yes.
Got a question for Julie. Do you understand that possibly this star, it was connected to the Immaculate Conception in some way, that it is almost like it is watching over it, Jesus or the Christ energy? What do you get on that?
So the first thing that came was is a link of heritage. So it's almost creating like a gravitational pull of holding on to the frequencies of that heritage. So it's more of a like lineage. It's I guess the answer would be yes, though I feel like it's such a high level that it goes beyond the frequency of your words, but I would say yes.
So what you're saying is that it is connected in some way to the process that was that allowed the Christ energy to come into the earth at that particular time? This North
Yes.
Star? Yeah, okay.
Yes, and
great.
And getting that it was like kind of held, I want to say the heritage or the lineage, but it's like really the messengers of Christ, and it is holding like the quickening, like bringing in knowledge and communication beyond like unified fields. So it's like the revelation of the Star of David. It's bringing in the grid of heaven and harmonizing it into conscious communication.
So maybe it's sort of like they were giving a download of information or frequency?
I would say that they already held the download, and it was more of holding space so that they could remember it.
Okay, thank you.
Beautiful question. And Jules, could you tell us, I'm sure there were many reasons that you came to this planet, but what are you getting around your purpose? Like, what did you come here to do for the earth? Would you like to explore or talk about that?
Yes, well, in my first QHHT session, I was shown one of my very first past lives was to do the activation of the earth. And the purpose of activating the earth was to bring it to a high enough frequency where any conscious being would easily connect to Christ consciousness, and it was from this frequency that we were to exist. And I failed in the activation, and my purpose is to do this activation now in the third dimension in this lifetime.
Thank you. And how can we assist in this activation in the earth?
Well, we have activated a couple of the different chakras of the earth, and opening the heart chakra of the earth and on Monarch Ridge was, a really huge part of it. But, I feel like now the activation has definitely kind of entered Starcaster, and it's just creating these downloads and frequencies for this community. And then also all of the frequencies of the activation and the intelligence of moving into Christ consciousness is in all the Infinite Gold products. So, I think at this point it's really expanding the frequencies. And then I do see us creating some sort of group where we continue doing the activations on the earth through our Starcaster community.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Barbara, do you have any questions or any comments along that?
Not along that particular subject. I did have a question, though. It's sort of not in that particular subject matter, but if I may ask Julie a question about, we were talking about how we're feeling really stressed out, scattered, and a little bit frustrated. That's what I've been feeling. So do you have any information on how we can deal with that type of emotional stress?
Yes. So the first part is, these downloads that we just did around time and space is going to really help, and just kind of connecting to that, the energy of what I'm calling in space. And so, we are infinite in our energy, and we are infinite in what we can do with that energy. And then, so it's taking the part of the mind that has to put things into sequences or the boxes, or into the plan, or into the calendar, which is actually only causing resistance of fully entering in space. So it's being just, when we say it over and over again, okay with living in the unknown space, and actually, like, even taking that further, it's being able to live in a state of consciousness that's even beyond the state of consciousness of what we can understand. And so what I mean by that is it's almost fully surrendering to needing to even understand what you're doing almost. It's like almost like there's going to be parts throughout the day where actually we're creating from such a high place of consciousness that we don't even really understand what we are creating, and that's actually it's okay to be in that space. And what's actually causing the stress and frustration is our need to have it be in linear time, or have it be in a sequence, so that we can understand what's going on. But really what's being called of us is to not understand. And so it's just taking that living in the unknown space to a whole nother level, because at some point it's almost shorting out our brains, and that's what's causing us stress. And the shorting out of the brain is really our brains just rewiring to a higher level, and just being able to go through the process and with ease, and just to love ourselves and just not feel like we have to be in control is what's going to help us move through it quicker.
Wow, very good. That helps a whole lot. Thank you. Because I've been finding myself sinking into this stress situation, and I recognize that's what I'm doing, but I was having a hard time pulling myself back out of it. So what would be your suggestion as to a practice or something that we could physically or mentally do that would balance us out when we get into this overwhelming, stressful feeling?
I think what's coming to me is to just ask for help. So, though we're going through this, on our individual journey, we have, so many light beings of service that are just waiting to kind of step in and do the help. And so it's asking for help from our higher guides to start with, and then just asking to fill whatever emotion we are lacking in that moment. So if it's inspiration, if it's motivation, if it's calmness, if it's a sense of peace, to ask in those moments that we be downloaded with that emotion to override just the primal mind trying to hold on to feeling safe. And so switching the emotion of our experience will help us move into that in space with more ease.
Well, perfect. Makes perfect sense. I don't know why I had such a hard time understanding before. I guess he blocked it out. I don't know. But that is perfect. So all we need to do is just to ask for confirmation, for peace, for whatever it is that we're feeling, and we will be assisted in that endeavor. Is that what, do you agree? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And then, and just entering or asking for that frequency of oneness and living in the now. So, it's because in those moments where the message I'm getting is just trying to take something that's in space and making it linear, it's so funny that we say oh, it's so hard to, stay in space when we're in linear time, but actually the opposite is true. We're so in space, it's hard to be in linear time. And that is where the switch that we've had happen. And so now it's trying to, relate from living outside of linear time versus the other way around. And so how we do that is to just keep reconnecting to our divine or to our God, and living in the now. So when our mind starts to wander into having to create a plan, or how am I going to get this done, or how am I going to make this happen, or what is going to this and that, and instead of going into the future, as we bring it back into the now, connect to our divine, and just do the next right action. And that's really the direction of what we're doing, is in each moment, what inspired action should I do in this moment? What inspired action should I be doing in this moment? Instead of trying to have all the inspired actions all line up together, it's just doing one at a time.
Wow. Perfect. Thank you.
To add to that, as you were speaking, I just have the feeling that we can also call in the North Star for assistance to be held in that neutral state.
So let's ask for that.
I feel a lot of energy connected to the North Star when you started talking about it earlier.
And I guess because it holds that frequency of just being in the neutral, if you think about it, it really is kind of that space in between. It is the void in some ways.
Yes, that's what I'm feeling too. That I feel like that the void being the void between where we're at in our physical self and where we truly are at in our light body. So there is a void in between, and that North Star fulfills that connection between the physical self and the light being. That connection.
As you're talking, Barbara, I feel like I've met my old friend or something. Like North Star feels so familiar.
Yes, for me too.
And Jules, is there any one on the Council of Light who's stepping forward at this time, or just has any messages or guidance they'd like to add?
Oh, wow, I just got really big chills, and Dolores Cannon has actually stepped forward. And she just says hello to everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so Dolores wants to actually offer a download to transfer the light of language, and she's just going to bring in a new host of light, and this host of light is connected to the North Star, and in the seventh ray. They are going to harmonize together and bring in evolution of these different streams of what we're calling in space, and connecting them to the center of the mind. And this is going to go on for 6 days. So we're going to get this download for 6 days from this day forward. And it's going to bring in the teachings of, or the knowings of, so linear passages, so it's that heritage of passage, but these are coming in different light codes. Yeah, so I'm seeing these light codes as almost like little messengers or little activators that are just going to bring in higher frequencies, like almost like angelic frequencies. It's very angelic, and this is just going to be for the purpose of just connecting heaven and earth. Thank you, Dolores.
So like the codes would be, in my mind, what I'm seeing is the codes would be the language of the angels that is like an interpreter between us and the beyond.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. And Jules, did you have anything else that you would like to add?
I think the message is to just as much as the process that we're going through is it's a lot. It's an overload for, what our mind is used to handling, and it can cause some stress and just the feeling of being scattered or misunderstood or even alone or disconnected, all those things. And that really, the focus today is about just rejoicing in the, that we're creating this kingdom on earth. Like, we are creating heaven on earth. And to just the word that just keeps coming to me is just to rejoice, just open our hearts to the magic of it, and then just keep asking for, and I said earlier about connecting to the emotion that we need in order to shift the frequency. And, I think let's just ask for the download of rejoice, the emotion of just rejoicing in creating heaven on earth and just really connecting to the magic and the, crystalline grid and the beautiful diamond frequencies and golden dust that's just like all there for us to connect to as we are creating this, and that is the focus. It's and as we go through the the static energy of letting go of our old ways, that it's okay to just allow it to just be static without our minds having to make a story about it and make it into something that's uncomfortable, and instead just go back into the moment, connect to our divine, and do the next inspired action.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And I think this would be such a wonderful place to close with such an angelic frequency. Barbara, would you like to lead us?
Yes, I would. Thank you. I would like to read a passage out of Julie's book, Transcendence, A Journey into Oneness Through the God Particle. It's on Chapter 10, The Tree of Life Activation. The purple light is slowing down time so your bodies can accelerate up to the speed of now, so you can suspend yourself at a frequency beyond time. As the molecules of humanity are changing, you have this feeling as if you are solid, but you are really trillions of light particles. And when you remove programs, you go back into oneness. The flower of life is spinning in each chakra now and is bringing all low vibrational programming and karma into reverse, taking all energy to the beginning of existence. It is being restarted from the place with no law or karma, only purity. In a sense, everything is being erased, and all that's left is God. Connecting to the first particle of God before all other particles is important because mystical laws can be bypassed. The mystical laws cannot be broken except in extreme cases. In the God particle, mystical laws do not exist, so all can be healed. We start healing by bringing the energy of the God particle up through the root into the new earth. The particles enter each chakra, clicking each frequency. All as it enters the energy center, the spinning of the chakra will accelerate, bringing the frequencies into the next chakra. Each key must be turned first. You will feel the click inside the void between each chakra. Beautiful, Julie. Beautiful writing.
Thank you, Barbara, and thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And this was such a powerful time. I just have so much energy coming through me, so I just want to extend my heart, and we are here loving all of you as we create this community. Thank you, Barbara and Naomi.
Thank you, Julie.
I love you.
Love you. Till next time.